In the criminal justice system, the people,
pimps, addicts, thieves, bums, winos, girls who can't keep an address, and men who don't care,
are represented by two separate yet equally important groups.
A cop, a flatfoot, a bull, a dick, John Law, you're the fuzz, the heat, you're poison, you're trouble, you're bad news.
These are their stories.
Yesterday, members of the Central Park Five filed a defamation suit against former President Donald Trump, accusing him of spreading, quote, false, misleading, and defamatory statements about their 1989 case. He did this during the September 10th ABC News presidential debate, according to this court filing. There they are. Attorneys representing the five men filed their civil suit against Trump in federal court in the Eastern District of Pennsylvania. They are seeking monetary damages over his statements, which they say have caused them, quote, severe emotional distress and reputational damage. They were teenagers when they were accused of the violent rape of a female jogger in Central Park. This is in 1989. The five have always maintained their innocence. They were convicted and served years in prison, but a decade after the attack, a different man confessed to the crime, and through DNA analysis, the story was corroborated, and these guys were acquitted. During the debate, though, Trump was responding to a statement from Vice President Kamala Harris in which she revisited his full-page ad in the New York Times in the wake of the incident, and he called for the execution of the Central Park Five. He said, quote, they come up with things like what she just said, going back many, many years, when a lot of people, including Mayor Bloomberg, agreed with me on the Central Park Five. They admitted, they said, they pled guilty. And I said, well, if they pled guilty, they badly hurt a person, killed a person ultimately, and if they pled guilty, then they pled we're not guilty. Meaning they pled guilty, then they pled we're not guilty. The lawsuit points out that Trump's statements were false in multiple respects. None of the members of the Central Park Five ever entered guilty pleas in the case. None of the victims of the Central Park assaults were killed. And the mayor at the time of the assaults was Ed Koch. It wasn't even Bloomberg. And Koch did not agree with Trump's position with the full-page ad. So they are pursuing this, and because of the severe emotional distress, they expect that they are legitimized in bringing this case. And now, according to the court filing, they may get something. We'll see. I may ask David K. Johnston about this. I think it's worth weighing in on it. There's no question it's defamatory.
And it's been over for so long, and still he's, accusing them of being guilty when they obviously were not.
Yeah. There it is. Thank you. That's the site of the Central Park Five accused assault. But again, the entire thing.
Imagine how much that
turned upside down by that DNA evidence. Yeah. Yeah. Rudy Giuliani has to give up control of his luxury items, his Manhattan apartment, to the Georgia election workers that he defamed. Wow, it's defamatory law and disorder. If you defame someone, we've got you right here. A federal judge today ordering Trump attorney and New York Mayor Rudy Giuliani to turn over all his valuable possessions and his Manhattan penthouse apartment to the control of Ruby Freeman and Shay Moss. The Georgia election workers that he defamed. What's that?
Pretty good. His Manhattan apartment that he has to give to them?
Yeah, it's not just an apartment, it's a penthouse.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. He now owes them, I'll just recall it for you, $150 million. So, you're going to have to come up with something. You're going to have to turn over something to make good on that debt. Judge Lewis Lyman of the federal court in Manhattan said Giuliani must turn over his interest in the property to the women in 7 days to a receivership that they will control. The judge's turnover order of the luxury items is swift and simple, but the penthouse apartment will have its control transferred so Freeman and Moss can sell it, potentially for millions of dollars. The women who counted Georgia ballots, you'll recall, after the 2020 election, will also be entitled to about $2 million in legal fees that Giuliani has said the Trump campaign still owes him. This all in the judge's order.
So where will Giuliani live then, if he doesn't live in his fancy penthouse?
He may want to move in with Trump at Mar-a-Lago. I mean, that's that's his old buddy. But he can every day go, hey, how's the $2 million coming that you still owe me? That's Law and Disorder for today.
Tune in again next time for more Law and Disorder on The Mark Thompson Show.
All right, that's it. Let's roll. Hey, let's be careful out there.